It's time again for a thorough jostling inside some boxes. This time it's some boxes from China. Yeah, you really showed that box. Before we move on, a quick shout out to lovely sponsors of this video, Skillshare. It's an online learning community with over 15,000 classes in photography, design and other stuff, like this tutorial that I'm thoroughly enjoying about working with models. They're in-depth classes that take you through the whole process. Ooh, like her. Everyone can take a class or teach using their app or their website, Skillshare.com. Now when you start getting a number of subs on YouTube, you'll get a number of Chinese brands or Amazon sellers spamming your mailbox to try and get you to review their products. Now I'm quite selective with what I review, which is why I picked this. Alright, mainly I picked it because the guy who contacted me is called Bruce Lee, but this is a 6.5mm f2 fisheye lens. Given to me by Bruce Lee, check that out! The other Chinese lens I've unboxed is a Laowa Dreamer 15mm f2 0D FE lens, officially one of the longest lens names ever, but in terms of superlatives they claim this is the world's fastest 15mm lens. I mean that's quite a specific claim. I mean I'm the world's fastest 100mm sprint runner in this house. Despite their approximate shared similarities in their wideness, they can be two more different lenses. The Laowa is a 15mm f2 that focuses close, 15cm, and is good for astro stuff, not astroturf. And the Mica is a 6.5mm fisheye, which is good for fish. If you want a fisheye lens, just get it. At this price, even if it was just alright, it'd be fine, but it's actually really quite good. Sharp, even wide open, no colour fringing. Amazing. And at f2.8 you're getting a great edge-to-edge image, a solidly put together lens which is a no-brainer at this price. The Laowa is a different matter. Now I'd really love to try some astrophotography, but what are the chances of that happening tonight when there's that thick blanket of misery up there? Yeah, right over there, and there, over there, and there, just here, just everywhere in fact. A lot of people would think of Chinese lenses as a cheaper alternative. A $900 15mm f2 is not. The specs are good though, but is it worth 9 times a $100 Chinese lens? I first handled a prototype of this way back in November 2016 at Hong Kong Airport, just before I was going to take a flight to come back here. So I'm here today with the guys at Laowa to check out two very interesting lenses. You can't get more interesting than this, especially given the fact that we're handling this at an airport. Just worry I might get arrested. Almost could be used for medical purposes. Like if you've got a problem up there, just shove it up. If you carry on playing with that in an airport, you'll probably end up getting something else with rubber glove up there too. The 15mm f2 for full-frame Sony mirrorless looked delightful because it's a rectilinear, ultra-wide, kinda fast, no distortion lens. I was waiting to get my hands on the finished version, and finally, I did. I don't know if you can hear it from the wind noise coming from my mic, but it is bloody windy out here. And they say that summer's over. No shit, Sherlock. Anyway, Laowa lens. This lens is $900, which for some snobs might seem like a lot of money for a Chinese-made lens. I mean, the build quality of it is really quite good. Full metal barrel, the focus ring is nice and smooth, and then you've got a clicky aperture ring and an unclicky one. Bang for your buck, 2 for the price of 1. Obviously, non-clicky aperture ring is for video peeps or people who are clickists. The second time I saw this lens was with Dan Chung recording video of me and Locke with a pre-release version. Bokeh looks great and zero distortion obviously. One alternative to this lens is the much cheaper Samyang, which has worse bokeh and hideously weird distortion, which is not going to be easily fixed for video. Of course I can't justifiably say this is super value at $900, that's a fair bit of money, but zero distortion f2? Come on! And naturally with such a fast aperture I've got a super dark ND filter and I'm doing long exposure. What a twonk. Distortion is very low, not actual zero, but I guess 0D is a catchier name than very low D. At moderate apertures, it's very sharp across the frame. Alright, that's enough long exposure fun, let's take off the ND filter and go wild at f2, woo! It all sounds pretty amazing and it all comes from a company that didn't really exist a few years ago, although they say that they've made lenses for German and Japanese brands. Who could that be? The centre bits show excellent sharpness even at f2. Corners are softer but still acceptable. Vignetting pronounced, although not abnormal for an ultra wide like this. Everything looks good by f4. But with that f2 aperture, it's really going to appeal to astrophotographers out there, which is why I'm waiting for the stars to come out. But with that, I'm not sure if anything's actually going to be visible tonight, which is why I'm here, in case things go boobs up. But come the night, things were looking very much boobs down. Not only clear skies, but looked like there was another surprise in store. So here we are in Burnham.
Ovary Stave.
Ovary?
Yeah. No, not like
you said ovary.
Bits, no.
Anyway, we're out here because, well, originally I was going to shoot some astro stuff, but apparently there's going to be aurora.
Well, hopefully, yeah.
Well, hopefully. At the minute, we're in North Norfolk, which is like the arse end of England. You don't usually see aurora down here. For stuff like this, you don't really need an autofocusing lens. Another lens that could compete with this for astro stuff is the new Sigma 14mm f1.8. Killer aperture, and it's got AF, although almost double the price. Manual focusing on AF lenses aren't as nice as dedicated manual focus lenses though. Yeah. The ring is a bit slacked.
Yeah,
and I know a slack ring when I feel one. Party! This is the only way to spend Friday nights. Unfortunately, Aurora decided not to turn up to its own party. Cannot see Jack or Jill shit. It's the Northern Lights, and we're in the south of England, so tough titties, as they say. It is the arse end of England where the Aurora doesn't shine. When it comes to coma, in terms of optics, not the thing when you're laying on a bed for a long time. Wide open, good in the centre, average in the corners. Stop it down to f2.8 and things start looking sweet from there on. Without a doubt, this is a nice piece of glass, regardless of where it's made or what it costs. The mica is a no-brainer. The Laowa is something worth considering. It's sharp, it has super low distortion, fastish aperture and focuses close. It is quite a cool lens for stills or for video, even if the guy who sent it to me wasn't called Bruce Lee. So thank you very much for watching this video, and thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video. You can take unlimited classes on Skillshare with a premium membership which costs as little as $10 a month. Or the first 200 peeps can get a free 2-month trial using this promo code. Links in the description. I could get used to this. This is quite fun, isn't it? Hanging out in the dark. I'm not hanging out like that. Don't know about you, but
it's too cold for that.
Yeah, it's shrunk back in. That's what they call ovary. It's turned into one. It's not sponsored by Red Bull, by the way. We just find that Red Bull tastes a bit like sneeze. Jeez, it is pretty damn chilly right now. On the topic of man-mans, you could cut sapphire glass with my nipples right now.